How you making out?
Right?
You don't lie to me. I also own a farm. Here we go. You're now watching the 2024 season of Farming with Duffy Ag. Before we dive into today's video, don't forget Carhartts are on pre-order till the 23rd. Then we're gonna say 4 weeks after, you guys will have them. So this will be the last design with the Let's Go Farming Yanko artwork on a Carhartt ever. So hit it up, duffyag.com, links down below. You guys have 5 more videos of me saying that, so just part of it, you know, gotta rep the merch. Appreciate everybody that does. Welcome back to the channel. As you see, we got snow last night. It was a pretty solid whiteout. They are mooing for a very specific reason. I'll tell you in a second. It's cold, it's windy, gusts of like 38 miles an hour last night. I think we got faster, but it was blowing around pretty good. So we got the truck to wrap up today is the plan. And I was out here doing chores and I'm like, huh, that's weird. The water trough is frozen. Yeah, the outlets in the barn have no power. You coming in here or are you staying out there? Come on. Yanko's like, I'm done playing out in the cold. It's cold. It's windy. So, breaker's not tripped. And I did plug in the fence charger over there. And that's not working, and that's not working. Lights clearly are working, so we do have power. I gotta take this panel off, which I've never had this panel off. Actually, I might have. Actually, I need a light. Let me grab a light, because I don't want that door open right now, because it is so, it's like 20, well, it's not so cold, but the wind makes it cold up here, and it's very windy up here. But we also have some last of the stuff that we really need for the Mack. Alrighty, let's figure this out. Barn outlets 38, which is down here. It doesn't sound like it's locked back in. It's not as aggressive. Thinking that's bad. Pop this off. And someday all this wiring is going to get done back up because barn fires and electrical, yeah, it's usually how it goes. It's a little cold. Can't wait to get in the shop. The heater in the shop's been running for about an hour and it's still only 38 degrees in there. I know, I'm coming in a minute. They got grain, and then I was like, huh, that's weird. Because we have not had a water issue out there, and I haven't had to break water, which is amazing, which I love. Next year, the plan is actually have permanent water. Make life so much easier, especially if there's more cows coming. Which there will be for one way or another. Is this dead? Oh, I got 2 of them, and I need batteries for 1. I'll be right back. Oh, there we go. Oh, turn the light on. There we go. Ground. Come on, tangled up. Go. Zero out of there. That thing's dead. Oh no, it's got voltage. Really? So what the hell's going on? That says barn outlets. Okay, I just realized that this has a reset right here that's out. You think that's our issue? Alright, let's unplug everything that we got in. I know, I'm sorry. I'm working on it. Yeah, sketchy outlets. I got that plugged in over there, but I wonder if this tripped and it does it all. Yep. Working. So maybe that heater went bad. Or this cord's bad. I'm gonna go with the heater's bad, probably. Different hole. Trips. Heater's bad. Alrighty, good to know. I guess we'll grab them a new heater when we go. I wasn't planning to go to town today, but that's kind of a priority. So technically we have lived here for, I don't know, when we move in March, end of March, beginning of April. Lived here for 10 months, 11 months. Good to know that that is circuit breaker for everything. So I got the heater unplugged. You can see right in the bottom. We'll have to run and grab one later because it's only supposed to get colder, and yeah, it's a pain when they don't have water. But I'll throw this panel back on, and good to know. See, I'm always learning. The date, hey, we're not leaving. I gotta use your thumbs and throw that back on. Out of the way, come on. The day you stop learning is the day you die, pretty much, because there's always stuff to learn every day, I think, even if it's little things. I just checked what the temp was. Without the wind chill, it's 15, so I didn't think it was that cold, but it is cold. Yeah. Quality stuff, look at that. Still got some green in it. We gotta get a water heater in town later so the cabs don't freeze, because it's gonna get colder. It's 50 degrees in here now. We got 2 heaters because the crew chief brought us one, which means the crew chief is here. Hicey Boots, which is a great partner of the channel, sent you boots. They felt bad Robert had a pair and you didn't. Right, yeah. And Robert went snowmobiling and he said his feet were always dry. So check them out. Great part of the channel. You gotta wear them and then tell us the review of how you like them.
That's nice.
So I have the same pair, but not with the same color scheme, and I'm kind of jealous. I was gonna keep those actually. But link is down below. 100-year warranty, keeps your feet right there. Hicey Boots. So dollar for dollar, I've been a very big fan of them, and I've only had one pair in the last 3 years that I had issue in the sole. So otherwise, lifetime warranty, keep your feet dry and warm, even when you're 3 foot of water like Robert went. He goes, it's weird, your feet get wet when the water goes over them. They do make waders and everything too, so check them out down below. I do got a promo code, and I forget, I'll put it right here. Duffy 10 or Duffy 15 gets you 15% off or 10% off. I'll probably have to re-edit that one. Alrighty, he's here. He's gonna try those out. I'm pumped for it. It's gonna be mud season again. Right now it's frozen mud. Yeah. Maybe it'll dry out.
Mud, I almost forgot about
mud. So, we're gonna throw the new head on. We gotta get these injectors pulled. Everything's actually been pretty good. It should go back together easy. Picking that up's a little heavy. He told me the 4 valves, you can't pick them up. He goes, not by hand. He picked that up, wrapped it around himself, and walked out. He was like, I might need oxygen. Look at that. Alrighty, gotta pull everything. We got a bunch of stuff in the truck too. We got tools, more stuff. Okay, we do have to do some cleaning, but we're getting the truck done first. But I did what I ran into yesterday, was no 12-point sockets. So I got all the 12-point sockets in 3/8 and 1/2-inch drive and tray holders. And you gotta buy 2 tray holders because there's 6, what are there, 12 of each? 10 of each, and there's only 12 tray holders or something, so you put them together and then you're good to go. we'll do that. I also got pry bars and things like that to hopefully get those injectors out. Hopefully. Otherwise, it's going to be real awkward. Well, we got everything somewhat organized. Well, put away as far as where we were. So now we got 12 point and a half inch, 12 point and 3/4. Isaiah hooked up a new screwdriver holder, which definitely is better than the Harbor Freight ones. They sit like, these are not magnetic. So we're gonna have to get another one of them. We've got some pry bars over here. And oh, we did add standard wrenches. Now we got the metric and the standard ratcheting. Some of that stuff is out. Love time. Just so that you people don't get so worked up with me. I went and ate I stopped at Cumberland Farms yesterday on the way back. I hadn't ate all day. I took a bite of the pizza and remembered how my hands tasted. Even after washing them, diesel fuel, coolant, and oil. I almost threw up. So, we got the super thick ones, 9 mils. Bend over. So if you guys haven't watched the previous video, go back, watch it. We had a knock. That head needs to get rebuilt. And Al Whitney actually told me he has 2 spare heads for these motors. Yeah, he's gonna work on injectors. He told me he has 2 spare heads for these motors, and yeah, I just gotta go get them. We gotta find them. So we will have 3 spare heads at some point. But where we are at here is, well, this is the head gasket that's coming out, and we'll get that all cleaned up here. Yeah, I'm so pumped at how clean these pistons are. I was worried about that, but let's do a little brake clean action and get going.
This is probably not the way it should be done.
That's what they said. 2 pry bars. He's got one out, so. Not bad. Got new washers. I got some roll oil if you want to let it sit, soak in it. Then they pop, yeah. Who knows when the last time they actually came out. I don't know how much of this is original, but alrighty, here's what we got in the kit. So this is a separate kit. I got a nut locked on me. I don't know what that's from actually. We got a second valve cover gasket. As we see, it's PAI. There's the number. PAI is aftermarket Mack parts. Yeah, so all door assemblies, all that, we talked about it. So this is the PAI gasket kit. There's the number. Here's what it's got. Comes with head gasket, the rings. This is exhaust manifold, all 6 of them. Since we did take the whole thing off, we needed 6. Valve cover gasket for this head, and then your intake gasket, which intake, coolant, and it comes with this tag. So as you see, attention retorque is required. So you got the rundown of what you do. So what we're gonna do with this head, when we install it, you got your 3-step torque, so 50, 125, 200. That's cap screws or whatnot. So studs, there's 2 different ones on there, as we know. And then it says retorquing. So after half hour to 2 hours operating with a load, back off each one till they're free, then retorque to 220 foot-pounds, following sequence, back off for the stud nuts, and then retorque to 175. So it's gonna take a little bit of a steps, but very convenient. Oh, and we do have, you got your O-rings and our gaskets there, and then these are the gaskets they're still very surprised that this head, or yeah, this motor only had one valve cover breather. So we're gonna steal the head off the other motor that has a crossover from up here that goes to here, then goes out. So we'll use both of those and go from there. Oh, these are your top side ones. They go right there. That's what. Now I'm learning. We're learning. So what I can go ahead and do. Don't break an injector. What I can go ahead and do, I got the surface cleaned up. We got to get oil out of any of the ports. Yes, it's some of. We got to clean all the ports out. So, or all the holes. And then once we're good with that, we can actually put the valve cover on. We got to get the rings out of that one, since these rings are just like that. And valve cover gasket, put the head on, start working the bolts, clean the bolts, do all that. So this is what the injector looks like now that he's got one out. We'll clean it up a little bit. So I got everything cleaned out. We blew out all the holes. There's the rings coming off. You put new rings on it. Get it wiped down. The head gasket will go on, and then we're gonna go grab the head and yeah, start working. He got one of the injectors out, the rest are fighting, so we're gonna, you know, we'll see. We gotta, yeah. If it was easy, everybody would do it. This shouldn't go that bad though, putting all this together. I got new hoses for over here. We got clamps. We got all sorts of things going on. This looks very, very good. I'm sure somebody's gonna say, oh, you gotta machine that. We didn't have a head issue. We didn't have a fitment issue, no gaskets blowing out or anything like that. We had a valve issue, so machining this wouldn't make very much sense at this point. And it was still running pretty good, so I'm excited to see how it runs when it's actually good. Okay, so do I put the rings on first or do I put them on second? Do you have any idea? I don't think it's gonna matter. At least I know they fit down nicely. There we go. Head gasket's on. There's a dowel pin at both ends. Whew. Slap the head on, throw some bolts in, fire the truck up, let's go. Woo! And well, used head but brand new. I don't know how we're gonna do this. I don't want to mess that gasket up.
Unless you want to hop up there and I'll hand it to him. Is this side easier to
It's probably easier.
deal on, or?
Yeah, well, we can get it close. We don't have the injectors to worry about, so. That's it, I think. John.
Is it?
Yeah. Gasket's cool.
I think I gotta cut them both this way.
There you go.
Here, just pop it up a little bit so I can hold one side up so I can see that it's good.
Yeah, make sure all everything's set.
Yeah, that's what we're doing. Yep. Perfect. Yeah, that's definitely a two-person job instead of one.
What's it?
Setting that and making sure it's straight.
Yeah, because you pinch on one side or the other.
Then you're done.
Here you go. Come back there. He's having fun. All right, let's figure out which one's going away. Alrighty, we got all the studs in. So they're just studs, you know. They're meant for like 800 horsepower. Ooh, you guys got some. Oh, that made it worse. Okay, we put all the studs in. These are like 800 horsepower studs, so this should be pretty good. Isaiah's putting the same studs on the Superliner, but the Superliner's at 350. And after talking to the guys at Global, there's a Superliner that runs around with a 350 in it. He figures it's 800 horsepower with an 18 speed. And he said that thing is nuts. So that's
Bigger turbo.
yeah, fastest silage truck in the 518. You know,
Maybe. We'll see.
get paid by the hour, but you move more tons, everything's happier. So these are in. We got to do the 3-step torque. We got the nuts to clean up. Did mess up. I got a bunch of hose while I was up there, and I wasn't really thinking about this hose here. So coolant line, I'd rather not have them leak. And previously where I was, they bought a truck that got a motor rebuilt in it. Granted, it was a Max Force, which Max Force is a great platform, international, but when they put emissions on it, it absolutely kills those motors. So previously, or when they did that, they never changed any of the rubber, and it lasted about 6 months, and then everything started leaking. So once we put the cooler back on here, the only way to get to that is taking the cooler back off. So I am gonna get this size hose, 4 hose clamps. We're gonna go do that and grab some lunch for us. Thought about making a pizza. I did get these 2. So this is coolant passage that runs across, and this is your air going to the back 3 cylinders. So we got clamps and all sorts of clamps. We got to blow this out before we put it back in, stuff like that. But that is where we're at. So we'll get that torque down, and then we're gonna run, probably grab some Subway. Ooh, I should get this one too. Where's that, is that little piece right over there, or did I take it? That smaller one? The new one. No, what I did with it?
The black one I had?
Yeah. That section of it, wherever. I probably did. Probably losing my mind. I got the little old piece. Oh no, that is what it is. Never mind. Because I see there's another section piece up here. Okay, so I am losing my mind slightly. I got another section right here that we should replace because yeah, it's just a good idea. So that's what I'm trying to check off and make sure I got everything that we need before we need it. Probably.
4 clamp.
Huh?
4 clamp.
Yeah. Probably the nuts for the exhaust manifold. Probably shouldn't reuse those. See, I'm remembering more things that we need. We're out of brake clean. We gotta get a box of that. We need some coolant because we dumped a bunch of coolant on the ground when we did this. Another hose for that crossover piece. Well, we're gonna get it torqued up. So I got it set up here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and so on and so on. So let me grab the torque wrench. We're starting at Or we're starting at 50, right? 50 on both either way. Okay, let's have at it. Everything is hand tight, and we are starting with number 1, which is this one here. Oh no, I'm looking at this backwards. It's upside down compared to where we are, I think. Number 1 is this one. And then we're going to number 2, which is this one here. Click. Now this is a priority because if you don't do this right, you could do a lot of bad things to the head. And number 3 is this one here. This one. 6 is this one. 7, 8, 9. 14's right next to it. 15's down here.
Looks like not much difference.
No difference? Do they look different?
Yeah.
Which one's different? Or which one's which? We're trying to figure out the difference between a cap screw and a stud nut. So any experts that are watching, give us a rundown. The crew chief is looking it up over there. Also, the crew chief is getting his own apparel line. So we might put that on the merch site. I'll drop a hat right here. We'll probably start with the hats. We'll drop a hat. If you guys are a fan of that, all proceeds go to the Superliner build for Siler season. Alright. Where were we? 16. Go back. We're going to 17, so we got to do the other end. And then once we're done with this, we got to go back to 1, and we got to change to 125 foot-pounds. I don't have a torque wrench that goes to 200. Good thing we're going Napa. Should have got one at Harbor Freight. Nah, when it's a torque wrench, you probably should get a nice one. This one, Craftsman, these were a thing of the beauty back when Craftsman was a real thing. Back with Sears, that was living.
I don't know, I don't think there's much of a torque difference right there.
Well, one is torqued to 200 and one's torqued to 175. So is that a cap screw and that's a stud knot? Not a stud muffin, stud knot. Alright, let's go back to unlock this, go down, or go up to 125. I guess I didn't even think about that. We gotta upgrade some of that selection. Actually, we should call Ed and get a torque wrench from him.
Yeah.
That way I can get a real nice one.
Yeah.
I admit snap-on ratchets and torque wrenches are nice. Maybe we'll stop in and see Ed and commandeer something. Alright, one is over here. Okay. Alrighty, I'm gonna jump off and we're gonna do all these so we can go and get some lunch and get some supplies. And then come back and wrap this up and get this motor going for today. And just like that, we're back. We got pretty much everything we need, we think. One thing I didn't think about was the torque wrench. So we went and tried to commandeer one from Ed. He said he has one at his house in Western New York. But so Nate Johnson and his father hooked us up with this bad boy, and goes up to 250. So 220 is going to be our last torque. Well, I'll go ahead and torque these down to where were we? 200. What do you need? He's got a stick and he's pumped. Definitely moving up on the threads. I can watch it. Not moving. It's just us. Just me imagining things. It is sitting on a rubber hose. That is holding them on. How do you get these out after? So today has gone from pretty decent to Isaiah's battling over there, and I'm battling over here. And neither of us have made any progress in the short time. Well, it's not really a short time, it's been like an hour and a half. So, less than ideal. Oh. Okay, so previously we have put gasket on this, and as you see, it's good. It's the gasket right here. You can see it's leaking out of it. So, and it was coming out pretty good. So this is all part of the timing, and they're actually loose right now because I wanted to be able to spin it some, get it in and out. Makes life easier. But yeah, we'll line it back up with the pump after. We're not going to mess with any of that. We just got to take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 bolts off. That cover comes off, re-gasket it, and go from there. Easy as that, right? And let me add to that, these are all 12 points. So if we did not stop yesterday, we would not have be doing this. A lot of work just for a gasket, but it's part of it. And you got to figure, who knows when this gasket was last removed, and it ran for a really good time for us before it started leaking, but it's part of having a vehicle. Nothing breaks down when you're not using it. Well, stuff starts leaking. Ooh, this one's not so good. Somebody rounded that at some point. I'm going to need a wrench on that one. How you making out?
Right.
Don't lie to me.
It's 2 out of 1 hour.
What? I think he's lying to me just so I feel better about my life. So these gloves have been on point. They haven't ripped yet. They're awesome. But wearing gloves, then you can't feel you can't grip nothing. Oh, blowing right out at the bottom. Yep. That'll do it. Is the pump gonna stay there? Stay, pump. Stay. We'll get you all done up good. I'll show you. I don't know how well you guys are gonna see this, but right there. Can you see that? Ready? Right there, where it's separated. Yep, that gave me a lot of anxiety this spring, I guess it would be. Little gasket material. Clearly I put enough silicone on it. Gasket maker there. It's not silicone, is it silicone? I don't know. Black stuff, the good stuff for oil. So clearly we're hopefully in a good spot and it never leaks again, because it was leaking down there and I kept putting paper towels on it or underneath it to actually prevent it from leaking all over the place, and then every few loads I swap paper towels. So if you guys didn't know that, now you know. That was this spring. So crew chief has his project on over there. Somebody did ask me how no Mountain Dew was. I never said I was drinking no Mountain Dew. I said I'm just drinking less Mountain Dew. So I'm gonna cut this at some point here, and that's gonna be our new little bracket piece. Cut it up here, bend it, drill another hole. That way it stops breaking. I welded it once before, but crew chief has this little project going on here, and he's welded the nuts, tried to back them out, and they haven't worked. So I'm just gonna cut that with the torch right there, cut it with the torch right there. Hopefully we can start working those back and forth to get them out, because once they're out you can take those studs back out and go from there. Nick, we'll go all the way down. You're gonna get scared by this. You on fire control?
Yeah.
Hi. Gloves. Cut that all the way. Okay, so we're out of there. Zach said we need a slide hammer. I probably agree with him. But we don't have a slide hammer. Up on my hood. On the fender maybe. I do have another one, the one I hit my leg with. Oh, my knee? lot better. It did have a lot of swelling and some weird marks to it for a while. We got it figured out. Moving. At least the top of it is. Bars? What we got? Anything? That blue one?
Blue one? Yeah. For everybody, we know a slide hammer is a tool for the job.
Slide hammer is like probably a 3-hour adventure by the time we get done. I can get it to turn around, though, spin around though. Maybe fill it with curl oil and hit it back and forth. I really don't know. I might have to go get a slide hammer tomorrow, and then you'll take this one out and you get a bolt like that, and then you weld the slide hammer to the bolt and you yank it. It's either that or, yeah, we're not going tonight. It's already getting pretty late. That's frustrating. I don't know. We'll let it sit with some more curl oil in them. I got this one. It will do, I don't know, 40 degrees of movement around. I'm hoping that works its way down. But I'm over here. I still got to make that little bracket. I'm over here. I got the one piece on, and this is how these projects take forever. Anybody that's an actual mechanic and works on junk, I love my junk, they know. Before you know, you go down a rabbit hole and things get wild. But we're lined back up, or we're back on. I got everything cleaned. We cleaned everything here. I'll probably put it on that side. That way I don't hit anything as I go in. And then, because you got this drain that drains all that back into here and then drains back into the case. So, you know, you got to lubricate moving parts, and this is part of a moving part. Put the cover on, and we're going to call it a night. It is just about 8 o'clock, and, well, we haven't ate yet. We had Subway. That was pretty good Subway. Okay, so if you go to Subway, they have foot-long churros. What was the other thing? Not pretzels, but what was the?
Cookie.
A cookie. The pretzels are Auntie Anne's, and if you don't have Auntie Anne's in your world and never heard of it, I'm sorry. On point. You gotta ask for the honey mustard sauce. So, just to tell you guys about. We'll get further tomorrow. We gotta get a slide hammer, and yeah, maybe tomorrow it's gonna run. Alrighty. Hey, make sure you take your boots. You got to give us a review. Non-bias. Non-bias. Somebody did just ask in the comments if we're still partnering with Heisey, and they've been awesome to us. The boots have been awesome. Robert, his feet have been dry, which I was worried about him. You know, he digs holes and stands in the water. But
Himself holes everywhere he goes.
Yep. There's the one injector. We got to mess with. We got to get the other 3 off. And then this should go back together a lot quicker. It's amazing how taking it apart goes really fast, and then we spend all day trying to get things back together. Well, making sure things are good, and we're gonna make it happen. So appreciate you guys, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Have a good one.